What's going on, guys? It's Nano J49 coming back for another video. Um, if you guys do not know who I am, wow, if you guys do not know who I am, I'm a big Niners fan. I have been a Niners fan since 2011, and I will continue to be a Niners fan for the rest of my life. Despite our record this year, despite injuries, despite our bad luck, I have to be a part of the faithful, and I will be a part of the faithful, and I choose to be a part of the faithful. But anyways, aside from all that, um, so we're gonna talk about Ryan Tannehill for a couple minutes here. Ryan Tannehill, there was a report that came out today that said that Ryan Tannehill could possibly no longer be a Miami Dolphin no more after the end of the season, and that the Dolphins could end up either trading him or cutting him, and kind of move on from Ryan Tannehill. Ryan Tannehill, average quarterback, not great. Has been dealing with injuries towards ACL, just multiple injuries that pretty much the Dolphins are kind of fed up with. Now, it's not Ryan Tannehill's fault that he's continuously getting injured. It's not on him, because injuries, like I said in the last video and multiple videos, injuries are the worst part of football. And it's just very unfortunate to see guys go down how they are with injuries, and it's kind of a bummer. But Ryan Tannehill was tearing it up before he tore his ACL. Dolphins had all that hype going into the 2017 season, and he ends up tearing his ACL. Comes back this season, injured again, and they're kind of just fed up with it. Now, this is the thing about Ryan Tannehill. He's always having bad luck with major injuries. They're always severe. The severity of the injuries that he's always constantly getting are severe. Like, they're very high. They're very bad injuries. He's not really ever lucky with. Now, you're never lucky with an injury, but he's never lucky with getting like a minor injury. It's always something major. And that's just the very unfortunate part about Ryan Tannehill. Now, aside from all that, the video is to basically say if the Dolphins get rid of Ryan Tannehill this upcoming offseason, they either trade him or they either cut him. What team should go out and try to push and try to either trade or get him in free agency? What team should try to make a push to get him? Now, there is a few teams out there that could need quarterbacks. You look at the Denver Broncos. Case Keenum is probably not going to be there too much longer. Hell, I could even see them getting rid of him this offseason. They may give him another shot because Vance Joseph is definitely probably more than likely going to get fired. So they definitely could probably give Case Keenum another shot with a different coach and see how he produces. Or they could just unload the leash and just say, screw it, Case Keenum, you're gone. Vance Joseph, you're gone as well. So the Denver Broncos could need a quarterback. Now, personally, I don't think the Denver Broncos should go out and get him. That's just me. Because I think that Case Keenum and Ryan Tannehill are kind of like. Now, you could probably put Case Keenum over Ryan Tannehill, or Ryan Tannehill over Case Keenum. But then again, you never know. But the Denver Broncos could try and go out and make a push for him. You never know. It's always a possibility. For instance, another team, how you could even use Ryan Tannehill really as a backup quarterback. But the Denver Broncos, I can't really think of any other teams that could use. Excuse me, that could use Ryan Tannehill. I think from here on out, if they end up releasing him, I think that Ryan Tannehill could possibly be kind of used as a bridge quarterback, maybe maybe not a bridge quarterback, but like a decent backup quarterback. But who knows? I could be completely wrong. I can also throw a curveball here and say that the Washington Redskins could use Ryan Tannehill, because I do know one thing. I read a report a few weeks ago when Alex Smith ended up getting hurt, and they said that in that report that it could possibly be severe enough, or it could possibly make Alex Smith just want to hang up his cleats and just retire from football. And if that ends up happening, do I think that's going to happen? No. I'm a big fan of Alex Smith. I've loved him since he's played for the Niners. But do you think that would happen if Alex Smith decided to retire, or they just moved on from Alex Smith? I don't think they're going to move on from Alex Smith because, the injury's not his fault, and he's still a very good quarterback. He's above average quarterback. But that's just a what if. That's just a what if, as in saying if they were to get rid of Alex Smith, or not get rid of him, but if he were to just retire, because I read reports saying that Alex Smith is considering retirement after this injury. So Redskins, another team that could possibly use Ryan Tannehill if Alex Smith decides to retire. But aside from the fact, every quarterback except for little teams here and there. Oh, one more team, completely spaced this. The Jacksonville Jaguars. This is probably the team, the biggest. This is probably the perfect team that could use Ryan Tannehill. Blake Bortles is absolute trash, and they're going to definitely move on from him. They said that they already said it, that he's done in Jacksonville after Week 17 this upcoming week. But the Jacksonville Jaguars could definitely use a quarterback like Ryan Tannehill. And I think that the Jacksonville Jaguars are the perfect team, and they're probably the best team in the NFL in spot for a quarterback, because they need to go out and get a quarterback. I think I've always thought to myself, I never really realized it, but I've always thought to myself that, and I always kept in the back of my head, that a quarterback is the biggest need for an NFL team. Because if you don't have a quarterback, yes, if you have a defense that can win you games, but you need a scoring offense. And if you don't have a quarterback, shit's going to change, because it's probably not going to be the same. Your team's not going to be the same. Yes, you may have a defense, but you got to have an offense to score points too. It's not just on the defense. The offense will score more points than the defense week in and week out. But yeah, the Jacksonville Jaguars, they have a very, very, very good and talented, a young defense too. They have a very good, young, talented defense. A top 3 defense last season too. Despite the fact that Jimmy Garoppolo tore their defense apart Christmas Eve last year. But aside from that, I've never really realized how big of a need a quarterback really is for an NFL team. I realized that when Garoppolo came in, of how much he's changed the organization around, and how much the Niners team changed in general. When Jimmy Garoppolo came in, the defense played better. And I feel like with Jacksonville, the Jacksonville Jaguars go out and get Ryan Tannehill, I feel like the defense will play better, because they'll be more motivated, because the defense is not going to be like, okay, well, we might as well get ready to play back on defense, because Blake Bortles ain't going to do a lick this drive. So I feel like if Ryan Tannehill gets traded or something, I feel like the Jacksonville Jaguars could definitely be a team that could land Ryan Tannehill and definitely use Ryan Tannehill. But who knows? Only time will tell. But I read that report, and it's like I don't know if the report was false, but I did hear that Ryan Tannehill is expected to be moved on from in Miami. So we'll see how it all pans out. But I just want to talk about that. So the Jacksonville Jaguars could be a perfect team, or the Jacksonville Jaguars could wait and get a quarterback in the draft. But then again, you're taking the risk at going and get Ryan Tannehill because of his injuries. If the Miami Dolphins get rid of him, it's not because of his play style, his ability to play the football or to play the game. It's really just because of his injuries and how he's just so injured prone. But maybe he gets a fresh start in Jacksonville, or a different NFL team that needs a quarterback, and maybe he gets a fresh start and he starts rolling again, because Ryan Tannehill's been quiet for these past 2 seasons. He's been kind of banged up with injuries and all that, but who knows? Well, only time will tell. But like I said, there's a report going around, Ryan Tannehill expected to be moved on from in Miami. So that's why I was just coming on here and giving you guys teams, and giving you guys kind of little insight on what I think Ryan Tannehill could end up in next season. So with that being said, I'm going to end the video here. Make sure you guys give the video a like, subscribe down below, With that being said, go Niners.